Real men respect life. Real men wouldn't kill their brother. Not that we won't fight. They will fight. Me, that's more masculine than pulling out a gun and killing some damn innocent bystanders. I know for certain that Satan is destroying a lot of lives with the food that's being produced. But you would never have the pharmaceutical companies commercializing the medicines that they were developing. Your medicine cabinet is in your kitchen. He had them throw out all of the drugs out of their medicine cabinet back in the day. You see men running around with breasts, and it has everything to do with the growth hormones in the foods that we eat. They want to get the chicken to the market as soon as they can, so they plump it up. Wow, I did some federal time years ago in the mid-'80s. The brothers that I saw out in the weight shack at this federal institution, I wanted to start teaching them Islam. When I came home, I didn't have much. I started out selling fruit bags on the street.
Wow.
Selling produce from the truck. We leading young men and young women, we should be in the best shape of our life. We should be striving to be a good example to the young people in our nation. But you gotta keep moving, especially as you age, and you can live longer if you exercise how to eat to live. And if people walk away from it because it came from Elijah Muhammad, but most of them come with doctor this one and doctor that one, and most of the time it's from their enemy. Their job is really to kill, and destroy people, and they do it through the foods. For those who say they love Malcolm X follow how to eat to live. Muhammad Ali followed how to eat to live. Man, this is Aaron Mohammed. Some people call me Mr. TNT, top-notch training one.
Look! This is the eye of the trenches!
Last time I believe you were 67, right?
I think last time we shot. How you put my age out there?
No, they got it.
I was 68.
Okay, now you're 69, right?
69, yeah.
Happy birth anniversary. Well, late birth anniversary, I should say.
Yeah.
So, I want to start this one off different. What made you smile today?
What made me smile, man? You did, bro. Just the fact that you was coming here and give me an opportunity to say a few words to the people out there in social media.
All praise be to Allah.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first question I have for you is this. When is it too late to get in the best shape of your life?
Well, if you say the best shape, that depends on who you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
But I say it like this, it's really never too late to start trying to get yourself in shape. Some people have been working out and fell out of shape and need to get back in shape, and then there's people that have never done anything and just in bad shape or in bad health. It's not too late for them to try to do something, to start doing something. It's better than not doing anything at all. Mm-hmm. So it's never too late to try to get yourself in the best shape of your life. It's never too late. You can always do better, but you can't do better just sitting around wishing that you was better. You got to go to work.
Absolutely. So how important is mindset when it comes to that?
Man, it's interesting. Because I say it's interesting because Saturday I was with our beloved Minister Farrakhan, and he was talking about your level of skill. He was reflecting back when he was high school state champion in the 100-yard dash, and he talked about the skill level. It's great to have it, you gotta have it, but it's the mind. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the mind can stop a person from going to their best. You follow what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So the mindset is absolutely, everything starts with a thought. Everything starts with a thought. When you get up in the morning, you think about it. Well, I get time to get up. Nothing starts without the thought first. Mm-hmm. So the mind is absolutely key. I heard the minister say one time, I think he was benching or inclining. I think it was 350. I could be wrong. But he said that he moved it with his mind. So you got to believe it, you got to go after it. Right. So the mindset is absolutely key, absolutely key.
Absolutely. So that being said, what's the biggest lie you think is told today in the fitness world?
The biggest lie. There's so many of them in this industry. Oh man, I have to think on that one. It's so many big lies.
Well, we can switch it up. What was the biggest lie you thought that you were told when you first started, then you found the truth about?
What was the biggest lie that I was told?
Yeah, that you ran with, because we all ran with something at a point in time, probably like, you know?
Well, one of the biggest fantasies is that God is a spook. But they won't never say the spook. They would just say the spirit. You know, because the spirit always got to be housed in something.
100%.
And a lot of people just don't want to accept the reality that God is a man. You know, we were made in His image and after His likeness. What does that make? God.
You.
A man.
Yeah.
A human.
Yeah.
Right? Only supreme in knowledge, supreme in wisdom, and supreme in understanding.
100%.
That's one of the big mistakes a lot of, and that's due to Satan. He gotta, you know, as long as you keep God a mystery, then you'll never come close to Him.
Absolutely. So, what's a lecture that you've heard that keeps you going to this day, especially when you're in the gym?
Wow, I can't say one particular lecture. I can't say one particular lecture because all of them seem to be tied in to the truth. When I was taught that every time you're looking at a black man, you're looking at a God, and then I began to look in the mirror and accept the reality that there's no impossibility. I mean, the Christians, you know, we all say it all the time. In Christ, all things are possible. You know, so as long as you understand that and try to be Christ-like, then you know that there's no impossibility. The only impossibility that God has Himself is to tell others the truth. So that's why a lot of our people of age think it's too late to start working on themselves and making changes and development for the good in themselves, and they accept poor health or poor fitness as this is what it's going to be, and they just get content with that. It's a big mistake, big mistake. You know, there's no impossibility. Just get started. My oldest client today in age, she is 78 years old.
Wow.
And she's been hanging in there working out with me for a lot of years. A lot of years. And she's stronger than a lot of my female clients. And she's 78. But she's been consistent. And she won't stop. I guess we'll stop working out when one of us is off the planet.
Wow. So I gotta ask you this. What's one thing she's taught you?
One thing she's taught me. I think some of the things she taught me is how to be humble. You know, she's Asian American, and she has become one of my good friends. You know, and she's a very humble lady, and she's not going nowhere. We have a goal to go beyond 100.
Yeah.
And strong. Yes.
So how do you make that possible?
Well, it's not possible. I mean, it's only possible through how to eat to live. You got to eat. You got to learn to eat the right thing at the right time. In my case, I have a saying. People ask me how I'm doing. I'm just trying to stay relevant. Trying to stay relevant, and to stay relevant, you gotta stay fit. You gotta stay strong. You got to stay alive.
Absolutely.
You ain't gonna be relevant dead. You know, you're only relevant if you're alive, and you can live longer if you exercise how to eat to live.
Absolutely.
It's FOI, Fruit of Islam, name given to the military training of the men who belong to Islam in North America. We say the fruit is the best because he's constantly training and conditioning himself to meet and overcome all obstacles in his path. Constantly training and conditioning himself. This is what we should be doing as FOI. This is what's going to make us relevant. Not sitting around being overweight, being out of shape, being unconditioned. That's how you stay relevant. You got to constantly train and condition yourself. And I try to be an example. I'm not the best example, but I try to be an example to the young FOI
100%.
in our nation and around our country. And you can't do that unless you exercise how to eat to live. That's how you bring about longevity.
So do you think that plays a part in the mindset too? I know we spoke on this before, but this might, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to be strong in mind. You got to have a determined mind. It busts the will, you know. And so I use the word exercise, how to eat to live, because it's consistent, it's constant. You can't do it today and fall off tomorrow. It's not sometime. It's all the time that you have to strive. So the norm should be exercising how to eat to live. It's an exception that you blow it, you know, but the norm is how to eat to live, following the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. We saw a video a couple of weeks ago in the nation during one of our business meetings, and there was a short video clip of a pioneer in our nation, Minister W.D. Mohammed down in Florida. He was in the gym working out. And I wouldn't sound so, so important, except Minister B.R. He turning 93 this month if he hadn't turned 93 already. 93 years old. He was in the gym. So you said, when is it too late to get in shape? This man was working out at 93. He was in the gym.
Wow.
He was in the gym working out at 93. I wish I could remember all the exercises. I think I saw him doing bicep curls. I know I seen him doing some bent over dumbbell rows. He was moving the bench around the gym. Yeah, he was taking care of business.
Dang.
At 93 years old.
Wow, you said 93.
Yeah. And look, he was asked. Some people were in the gym, and they was asking him, well, how do you do this? And you know what he told them? How to Eat to Live by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. How to Eat to Live by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He was exercising. He exercised how to eat to live, and he exercised in the body, constantly training and conditioning yourself to beat and overcome all obstacles that you have.
So I gotta say something to this because I get these comments all the time. As soon as you say the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a lot of people ears turn off and go straight to some wow. So what's something you could say to open their ears up?
Well, if they decide to deafen themselves and not want to hear the root of this teaching is God. Throughout that book, Elijah Muhammad wrote, "So Allah in the person of Master Farrakhan Muhammad taught me." Now, if that mess you up, and you don't drink the water because you think something's wrong with the glass, you just miss out on the water, you know. But he said he was taught by God. I'm not going to argue with it. I don't want to argue with it. I know the benefits of it, you know.
Absolutely.
And if people walk away from it because it came from Elijah Muhammad, but most of them come with Dr. this one and Dr. that one, and most of the time it's from their enemy. You know, who in most cases are bearing witness to some of the teachings of how to eat to live. like this, what is this time thing they call when it's come to eating?
The old man died and
No.
all that.
No, they got something called
Internal fasting.
intermittent.
Yeah, I can't say it right, but it is.
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
It's a new term. Very new term. Elijah Muhammad been teaching us proper timing in fasting for over, oh my God, since 1930 something, early 30s.
Almost 100 years.
Yes, yes, exactly. Going on almost 100 years now. You're right. You're absolutely right. And so now we hear this new thing, intermittent fasting, and we think we got something new.
Mm-hmm.
And the writer of that stuff is Johnny Come Latelys.
Absolutely.
You know, for those who say they love Malcolm X follow how to eat to live. You know,
That's a fact.
Muhammad Ali followed how to eat to live. All those old pioneers in the Nation of Islam followed the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, and particularly how to eat to live.
100%. That's the real doctor's office.
That's the real doctor. That's the real doctor. You know, when you're talking about longevity, that's it.
Absolutely. So this is the next question I have for you. Would you suggest somebody go to the doctor first or go to the gym first if they are experiencing new health problems?
They better go to the doctor first and find and at least get some idea what might be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But don't depend on just don't just rest with that. The gym is for strengthening the body, and you can strengthen your endurance, cardiovascular endurance. You know, you have to be if you have problems, health issues like diabetes or hypertension or high blood pressure. Those things, you got to be very careful, got to be watchful. You can't go crazy. You know, you just have to be intelligent. You have to be intelligent at whatever you do. I go to the doctor on a regular basis just to get my blood work done, make sure everything is in check, you know.
Mm-hmm.
A few months ago, I went and got a colonoscopy late, and my prostate check. I was so happy and thankful to Allah to get a good report, you know, because everybody's not getting a good report when it comes to colon cancer and prostate cancer and all these different cancers, which is, you know, that's why how to eat to live is so important. Because we're eating so much poison today in the foods, and we don't allow our digestive system a time to rest and eliminate some of the poisons from these foods that we eat. More processed food and even the fresh fruit and vegetables. Every day there's some recall or there's, you know, on something from the market, and you just have to be careful, intelligent, and you have to allow your body time to rest, eliminate the poisons through fasting, and you just, it's a real thin line that you have to walk today in order to stay healthy and dodge some of the pitfalls that Satan has set up with our health.
Wow.
You know, their job is really to kill, you know, and destroy people. And they do it through the foods.
So do you think they do it through the foods more, or do you think they do it through the medicine, like in a doctor's office?
Both. When I was coming up, you would never see commercials from the pharmaceutical companies.
Wow.
You would never see commercials on TV from the pharmaceutical companies.
So that's new?
That's yes, absolutely, that's new. That's new. That was not going on in the 70s. It wasn't going on in the 80s. It wasn't going on in the 80s. I don't know when it started. But you would never have the pharmaceutical companies commercializing the medicines that they were developing.
That's most of the ads you see on TV
That's
now.
most of the ads you see on TV now. And then I guess the doctors just wasn't pushing it fast enough for them.
Yeah.
So they start commercializing it and have people go to their doctors and ask about it.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for it. It make you feel good at one point, then they got about 100 different side effects.
Yeah, that they say real fast.
You run through those side effects so quickly. And but if you just learn, I mean, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan told us that your medicine cabinet is your kitchen. It's your kitchen.
You gotta say that again.
Your medicine cabinet is in your kitchen. He had them throw out all of the drugs out of their medicine cabinet back in the day. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said your medicine cabinet should be your kitchen. And if you got a good wife, as I do, or someone that can go in the kitchen and fix you up a good healthy meal when it's time for you to eat, oh man, it's like heaven for sure.
100%.
It's heaven for sure. I don't know if I could have done what I've done if it wasn't for my wife, Sister Amy, in the way that I eat. You know, fresh fruit, vegetables all the time. Unfortunately, we're not raising our own livestock, but we try to buy the best that this world has to offer.
Absolutely. So what's some places you suggest for them to shop at?
God, I hate to giving them all of that because enough of us, black people, don't own enough places to shop at. And even when you go to shop, you got to just, it's not where you go, it's about picking the right thing when you get where you go.
Absolutely.
You know, wild salmon, of course, is better than farm-raised salmon. It's just trying to, and it's really a puzzle because you'll find some organic lettuce today and tomorrow it'll be on the news. It's a callback.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, again, that's why fasting is so important. That's why it's so important because you have to allow your digestive system time to rest and rid itself of the toxins that come out of the foods that we eat.
100%.
You know.
So to that point, I remember in one of our previous episodes, you spoke on like how the chickens are pumped up and everything. You said when you were your age, you never seen young men walking around with breasts for real. Like now that's super common. So
it's super common. I never heard you say that. You're right. It's common.
It's more common than not. If you ask me,
to see men running around with breasts, and it has everything to do with the growth hormones in the foods that we eat, particularly the livestock. Well, not just the livestock, but what makes the berries larger and plumper and things like that. But it's the growth hormones in most of the meats, the fish, farm-raised. We were just talking about farm-raised salmon, farm-raised fish. They want to get that stuff to the market as soon as they can. They want to get the chicken to the market as soon as they can. So they plump it up. They plump it up. We give it the milk that our babies drink is from cows that's been given hormones to produce more milk and faster. So you give your baby the Similac, all this crazy stuff, you know,
right.
Instead of breast milk from the mother for the baby, you know. I do drink milk, but I try to find the most raw milk that I possibly can. The milk that I buy, it be so raw. It be cream on the top of it. You literally have to punch a hole through it in order through the cream.
Wow.
To get to drink the milk itself.
So how do you feel about oat milk? Is that good or bad?
Oat?
Yeah.
Milk?
Yeah, oat milk.
I didn't know oats make milk.
Yeah, they got oat. Like, you know, like rice water, it's like oat milk now. They got oat milk.
So they got oats that the oat have breasts?
Dang, I ain't think about it like that.
Is it like almond milk?
Yeah, it's like almond milk, but it's oat milk.
But do almonds got breasts?
Nope.
Damn, well, what the hell kind of milk is that?
Dang, you breaking it down so simple. Wow.
I mean, I ain't never seen nobody milking the oats. I ain't seen nobody milking the almonds.
You got a point.
I ain't seen nobody milk any rice.
You got a point. So that ain't
watch
right.
What you're drinking.
Yeah.
So if it's something with the flavor of almonds, now what else made up the drink? Yeah, I don't know either.
Dang, you just blew my mind. Dang.
I don't
Because, you know, I call myself being healthy, getting oat milk versus regular milk.
Well, you better find out what you're really drinking.
100%.
Because oats don't make milk.
100%.
Almonds don't make milk.
Yeah, I know we can't eat nuts, period, though. But
You know, but just saying, you know, people go buy almond milk.
Mm-hmm.
And just look at the ingredients. Look at the ingredients what a person is drinking. And did they manage to milk an almond? I don't know. Yeah. I do know. I know it's a trick.
Yeah, I know.
I know a lot of people the trick.
Yeah, once you asked me, you had me feeling a little slow. Yeah, no, for sure. So this is what I had to ask to the point of like how they pumping up the foods. Do you think men today are less masculine than the men in your era? This isn't to downplay them or anything, but just from all the foods we're eating now, this, that, and the third.
Well, I know for certain that Satan is destroying a lot of lives with the food that's being produced.
Mm-hmm.
Masculinity, I don't know if I can say it on that level, but just mentally, just as a mental note, men had a different mindset. Real men have a different mindset. And real men respect life to the point that real men wouldn't kill their brother over little or nothing. Real men not that we won't fight. They will fight. But the young men today, I don't think it's masculine that every time you get into a little conflict with somebody, you want to reach down and pull out a gun to kill a person. If you're a real man, then shit, take it to the ring. Go ahead and throw some hands if you're a real man. You know? So to me, that's more masculine than pulling out a gun and killing some damn innocent bystander, some children on the street, or some women that's going back and forth for their groceries or something. You know, to me, real men act like real men. You know? And you don't see a lot of that today.
100%.
And it may be the men's fault that you don't see that today, because we're not taking a greater responsibility at raising our young boys.
100%.
Or our young girls.
Absolutely.
I should say that, yeah.
So what's the balance between fitness and education?
Well, to me, you have to have some knowledge. I'm going to use that word instead of education, because it's such a broad term.
Yeah, you know.
But you have to have knowledge of everything that you do. A lot of people are not fit because they don't have the knowledge of making themselves fit. It's costly, but the real thing that stops them is the knowledge or the understanding that they can be fit, or how to do it. How to do it. I was talking to a young lady today in the gym, and we talked about training, and I mentioned the importance of a consultation just to give her an idea of what it was going to take. I know the better I educate my clients on what they're doing, the better they do it. The better they do it, the stronger, the fitter they get, you know. So if you don't, a good trainer has to be an educator, and not just a cookie cutter trainer or educator, just, you know, but you have to be able to explain things and make things so clear to a person that they understand why they're doing what they're doing, and they can begin to see the results of what they're doing. Everybody's in the gym lifting weights. Very few people are getting stronger. Just not knowing the intelligent sense of how to build muscle. It's a greater science to it than just picking up weights and trying to pick up the heaviest weights and lift weights. It's a greater science to building muscle.
So break it down for them a little bit. You know, you've done it before, but...
Yeah, it's simple in words. The process of building muscle, and everything is timing, is that you have to tear down muscle fiber. Not necessarily the first day or the second day, but you get to the point If you continue to challenge your personal best, you'll begin to tear down muscle fiber. Then you have to feed muscle. And muscle only feeds off of protein. Waters are helpful because you rebuilding muscle tissue. Number 3, you have to allow that muscle enough rest time before you tear it down again. It's like shaping iron, putting it in the fire, beating it, cooling it, putting it back in the fire, beating it and cooling it. And that's the way that's the principle of building muscle, really. It's tearing down muscle, feeding muscle, allowing it enough rest time before you tear it down again. Absolutely. But everything is timing. Doing the right thing at the right time. Many people overtraining, many people undertraining. And in any case, you're not going to get the best results. Now, my friend Lee Haney, I heard him say recently on a video that he did that undertraining was better than overtraining.
Break that down.
And when he said it, it made so much sense to me, and I had never said that, but I heard him say it, and the moment he said it, it makes sense. The heavier the weights that you live, where overtraining, it's like taking a meat tenderizer and you're just beating the damn steak. You're beating it, you're beating it, you're beating it. You're not allowing that time period to come in there for the rest. Muscle don't grow during the beat down period. Muscle grows during the rest period, providing it's been fed properly. Mm-hmm. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Undertraining, the muscle may not be getting torn down at all. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to be careful with undertraining and then feeding yourself a lot of protein. You know, because if the muscle doesn't need it, it's not going to call for it.
So you'll just turn into fat then.
It could be fat. It could just be more calories that you got to get rid of in the long run. But one thing people do in undertraining, a lot of them are building up I don't want to say resistance, but I want to say endurance. A lot of people are building muscle endurance. If they're not building a lot of muscle, whatever muscle they have, they're constantly working it and not giving it enough time to rest. A lot of times they build up more endurance.
Absolutely. So this kind of goes to like eating too in a way. We overtrain our stomachs eating too much.
We don't overtrain it. We wear it out.
For sure.
We wear it out overeating.
Absolutely.
We wear it out. We don't allow that digestive system enough time to rest. Mm-hmm. And it's just constantly working. Round the clock. We eat before we go to sleep. We eat when we get up. Maybe eat when you go to sleep. You think you're sleeping. You think your body. You think you're resting. But the internal organ is working on the meal that you just dumped down. Mm-hmm. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And even after 8 hours, a third of your day, you wake up tired, sluggish, and you wonder why. It's because your body was working all night. While the head was resting on the pillow. Mm-hmm. You know, so how to eat to live is really the key.
Absolutely.
You have to allow this thing to rest.
Yes, sir. So this is another question. It's about mobility. A lot of people think, okay, if I get swole, I'm less mobile, I'm less flexible. But I heard a little birdie told me you jumped off a 5-foot stage at 68 years old. Seem like you got mobility still. So how do you keep mobility and flexibility?
Got to keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get off the couch. Got to get off the sofa. You got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. I'm not as flexible as I should be and as flexible as I want to be, which means I got to work more on my flexibility. But as far as being mobile, I'm always moving. I was at the gym today, working legs. You know, I was did hack squats, over 500 pounds of hack squats. I walked lunges, carrying weights. I did leg extensions, did leg curls, calf raises. Generally, the same day that I work legs, I usually do triceps also. I didn't get a chance to do it. I may do it sometime this evening here in my place instead of going back to the gym. Mm-hmm. But you got to keep moving. Especially as you age, you cannot just keep sitting around accepting a slow death. You know, get out to the park, get out to the forest preserve, do some walking, speed walk. Don't sit down and let life just slip away from you. You know, the more movement that you have, just be careful, watch your steps, and begin to challenge yourself. You know, challenge your endurance. So if you just get up in the morning and eat and go to work and come back, eat, sit down, you ain't gonna be mobile if you don't get mobile. You gotta keep moving.
100%.
You gotta keep moving. That's how you're gonna stay relevant.
Absolutely.
You know?
I like how you broke that down. So this is like a personal question I got in a way. So, you know, like, have you ever had a period of time where you stopped working out?
A little history. Wow, I did some federal time years ago in the mid '80s. This was before I started working out, and I wanted to start teaching the brothers that I saw out in the weight shack at this federal institution. I wanted to start teaching them Islam, some of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Mohammed under Minister Farrakhan's guidance, right? So I decided I was going to go out there and start working out with them brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started learning anything about weight training.
Mm-hmm.
And of course I studied as much as I worked out with them, but I was a student under some brothers in the federal institution.
Wow.
When I came home, I didn't have much to take care of my family. I had to go to work. That was the priority, trying to feed and take care of my family. And so I didn't do any workout for a long time. I didn't expect it to be almost 11, 12 years, but that's what it was, almost 11 to 12 years.
So you went 11 to 12 years without touching weights?
Yes.
Wow.
You know, kept on thinking I was going to do it, planning on doing it, said I was going to do it, but I at the time I was building business. I had your produce market, which was probably the largest black owner and operated produce market and health food store in the Chicago area at that time in Woodlawn.
Wait, you got to say that again. You saying that a little too humble, man.
I came home. I started out selling fruit bags on the street.
Wow.
Selling produce from the truck. And then me and a couple other young brothers, we got together and we opened up a produce market and health food store. At the time, it was probably, I think, the largest black owned and operated produce market and health food store, and it was in Woodlawn on 63rd Street. Some of the people that are seeing this may remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get back in the gym for almost 11 years, maybe 12 years even. And then at the FY class in 98, it was the last week of 98. The minister was, at this time, he was pumping iron, he was strong, he was fit, he was deadlifting 400-some pounds, benching, and he was challenging the believers around the country to get themselves in shape. And me being around him on the security team on a regular basis, and we would get it sometime personally. But then that last week of 98, he took off his jacket in the FOI class and challenged us. And I was sitting towards the back at that time. And I said to myself, I said, he ain't gonna keep on challenging me, I ain't gonna do a damn thing, right? And so within a few days, by January the 1st, 2nd, I had already made up my mind what I was gonna do and got busy. And I've been busy ever since.
Praise be to Allah.
Now with the opening of the coffee shop, Akira's, that I had prior to the pandemic, I was working so many hours, I was not getting in the gym consistently. You know, in fact, I started eating so many damn beignets and praline candy and bread pudding. I was going crazy. You know,
Big in
I
that
got
back.
a little chunky. I got a little chunky. One of my dear friends, Miss Ladrissa Bonneville, let's give a good shout out to Pro Fitness. My friend Ladrissa, She came in the coffee shop one day, and she said, Aaron, where's your arms? She said, where's your biceps? You know, I'll never forget it, right? So those were some times that I didn't work out. But in truth, since 99, since January 99, I have been very consistent in the gym. I broke an ankle, not in the gym. My dog tripped me one day. My ankle was broke. That's put me out of the gym for a while. And I could have been working upper body, but my mind just wasn't there. So I didn't do anything for a while while I healed with a broken ankle. But for the most part, I've been pretty consistent since 99.
So how hard was that process getting back in the gym? Because like one thing I struggle with sometimes is like when I'm out the gym and then I get back in, I always expect me to be at that same level of condition I was when I was already there. Then mentally it break it down a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Well, for me, it wasn't hard because it's my lifestyle now. It wasn't hard for me, and I understand this. If you've been out of the gym for a while, you will get depressed going back in there trying to do what you did a year, 2 years, 3 years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
That will be depressing. But you got to go in there. You skip that kind of time. Then you got to go back in there like you're going back to first grade.
Facts.
You got to go back in there. Just give yourself wake-up calls. Giving the bicep wake-up calls. Giving the chest wake-up calls. The shoulder, all this stuff. Just all right. I'm back here again now. Yeah. It's just a little wake-up call. When I work with new clients, I don't care how long they say they've been working out, but they ain't been working out in the last year. Okay, we got to say, we just going to do a little bit. I know you can do more, but we just go, because just a little wake-up call, you're going to be feeling that for a few days.
Absolutely.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And that's the way you got to approach it, and you have to be patient with yourself, in other words. Don't, because you left doing 315 under the bench, don't mean you're going to come back after 2 years and just get back up under there and start bumping 315 off your chest. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
No, it's not intelligent. You fell out of school, you dropped out, and then you got to go back and give yourself a refreshing course. You follow what I'm saying?
Facts.
And that's what it takes. If you go in there and try to do what you thought you was going to do, you're going to injure yourself. Or you follow, you possibly injure yourself. And it's going to be discouraging.
Absolutely.
So you go in there and you go do just a little stuff. It's just like jogging. I tell people, you always got to challenge your personal best. Your personal best, not your personal best 3 years ago, your personal best now.
Absolutely.
And if you could just start right back with, if you could knock out the 135 a few times, then few days later or a week later, you bump it up a little bit, to maybe 385 or maybe closer to 225, depending on the individual. Depending on the individual, and his mind, and his drive, and his intelligence. Absolutely. You always got to execute intelligence when you lifting weights, because it's so quick to have an injury. And injuries are setbacks, And so, hope I answered that question.
No, you answered that very well. Okay. Yeah. Pretty much you got to go back to school.
Exactly. You got to start all over again when you miss that kind of time out. I never missed that much time out except that period between federal time and being challenged to get back in there, But when I got back in there, I've been pretty consistent ever since then.
Yes, indeed.
And I can say it's a lifestyle. I'll be doing this stuff till I'm out of here.
Absolutely.
And again, it's about being relevant. It's about staying strong. Just before I turned 69, I was entertaining the idea of maybe I shouldn't be lifting this. Maybe I should stop lifting. Not maybe I shouldn't be, but maybe I should stop lifting as heavy weights as I do. And as I was saying it to myself, the answer came to me, for what? Because I don't injure myself going heavy, because of my form and my techniques are pretty good. if I lighten up the weight, all that mean in order to work to failure, I gotta do more reps. You know what I mean? And which equals more time. And I said, forget that. If I'm doing good at doing what I do and working to failure with heavy weights, why stop it?
Absolutely. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. That's what I said to myself. And to this day, I still do it.
Absolutely. So who is that you have on your shirt, and what competition you got coming up?
This dude well, not me. I ain't gonna be competing now. this is my man Lee Haney. I wanted to wear a shirt so I don't forget to mention the Lee Haney games coming up November the 1st down near Atlanta.
And
the Lee Haney games. Anybody can Google it. If you like to compete, if you like to, and if you even try to, if you're looking to become a trainer and want to get certified, Lee Haney has a wonderful certification company. He's a hands-on dude. This is an 8-time Mr. Olympian. For you young whippersnappers that don't know, only 2 people won Mr. Olympia 8 times. He was the first one. The second one was Ronnie Coleman. Unfortunately, our brother Ronnie Coleman is not in the kind of shape that Lee Haney is today. Lee Haney is older than him. And Lee Haney told me the year me and Malik visited him, when we were down in Atlanta together, well, he said it to me and Malik, which I understood it already, but he said he don't have any injuries.
Wow.
He said he don't have any aches and pains. This man hit Mr. Olympian 8 times, bro. Consecutively, by the way. A black man. So, they don't give us nothing. He earned it.
Yeah.
And, but he has the Lee Haney games are going to be this November the 1st. I'll be there. My wife is going down with me. And a few other people that I know are going to meet me in Atlanta to go and hang out with my friend, Mr. Lee Haney.
So they could meet you too then?
Oh yeah, I'll be there. They could meet me if they're in Chicago. They could meet me anytime.
Absolutely.
Yes sir.
So what's the message of the day, family, before we close out?
I wanted to say this. And I wanted to say something to the FOI, the men in Islam in the Nation of Islam, and particularly to the leadership. We leading young men and young women, we should be in the best shape of our life. We should be striving to be a good example to the young people in our nation. And you only do it, that's why it's so important. The Muslims years ago used to boast on how to eat to live. Not just by bumping their gums, but by the way they look, the way they carry themselves. I was looking at 2 head figures in our nation recently. I didn't even know I was looking at them. Well, Mustafa did, because I said it to him. He's our supreme captain in the Nation of Islam. The man really looks good. He has really got himself in shape. He looks good. He's fit. And the other one was Minister Ishmael, assistant to Minister Louis Farrakhan. The man is taking very good care of himself. So I'm saying that to say that all these other captains out here and lieutenants, if you're going to be in front of your men, get yourself in shape. Get yourself in shape. Follow out. Don't be wobbling in front of the young men. Follow how to eat to live. It's an exercise. Start the exercise yesterday. Start exercising how to eat to live and get yourself in the best fit. Be like Brother BR. Be here in 93 talking about how to eat to live. When people ask how did he do it? In the gym, matter of fact. So that's just the last message I want to say, and it was for the men in the Nation of Islam and for our leadership. We're about to go through a serious time right now, and you can't go through it with a weak body and a weak mind, and carrying unnecessary baggage around the waist, around the butt, around the hips, and all that old crazy stuff. This is wartime, and we should be like warriors, fit warriors. That's all I want to say.
Yes, sir. And who you shooting with, family?
Oh my God, this is Eye on the Trenches here. God damn, I couldn't do Eye on the Trenches, man. Thank you so much, Big Will, for coming to my little body shop and taking the time to put this out here. I can't thank Allah enough for you, brother.
And likewise, every time I come, I learn. Yeah,
My man.
Yes,
Every
sir.
time you come, I learn as well.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
And who I got on this camera?
Man, this is Aaron Mohammed. Some people say, call me Mr. TNT, Top Notch Training 1.
Yes, sir. And what's that slogan?
Top Notch Training?
Put down the
TNT?
yeah.
Oh, you gotta put down the guns, young people. Put down the guns. Put down and get some of these.
Oh, what'd you say? Hold up.
Get some of these.
Yeah.
It's a real gun here.
Yeah.
There ain't no Derringer either.
Yes, sir.
And know how to throw it.
Yes, sir. Assalamu
Thank you
alaikum.
again. Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Yes, sir.
Look, this is the eye of the trenches.